Hello, I'm Ann Lewis, the team lead for MacroBlitz, and today we have Carlos Velasco, who is from Mexico, our Mexican member of MacroBlitz. Hello, Carlos. Buenos dias.
Hey, hello, and buenos dias, and good morning to everyone. Thank you for inviting me. Okay, so let's jump right into action. Now, before we get started with all this, let's just say that, okay, I'm a biologist and I'm really into citizen science and biodiversity monitoring. So I'm really glad that we all get to this part of the MacroBlitz classroom. And before Nat, we just want to clarify the learning objectives. Within this part, we'll now be talking a little bit more about citizen science and what it is, so we can be all familiar with these terms. We should also understand how iNaturalist is a citizen science tool, and finally, we're going to learn a little bit more. I promise it's just a little bit more, and how actually iNaturalist works for all of us. So this will allow us, all of us, to explore the macroinvertebrate universe. Before we get started, let's talk about citizen science. You probably heard before about citizen science, but maybe you have heard about this with other names. Maybe it was community science, participatory science, or many other terms. We're not going to get like that much into this. Uh, but we want to learn about what is it. In just the basic of it is just collaboration. It's collaboration between scientists and people, community. Maybe science has devoted their entire lives or careers doing research within an university, or maybe they're independent researchers. But collaboration with community members is what makes citizen science actually great. So no matter what you do for a living or what you do in life, you can become a citizen science and you can participate in science project anywhere you are in the world. And okay, let me clarify also this. Citizen science is not just about biodiversity. There's a lot of topics that can use citizen science as a tool to get more understanding on certain phenomena. Maybe you can monitor light pollution in the night, you can monitor sound pollution, and yes, there is such a thing as sound pollution. You can monitor trash, debris in the ocean, your community. Uh, you can even add information on geology from your locality or your location. Uh, what I want you to understand, or we have like this clear idea, is that citizen science, it's a very, very powerful activity that gives all of us the ability or the possibility to generate information within our community and for ourselves. And believe me, this will empower all of us to make decisions and to take future steps to preserve nature. Okay, now this is where the fun part begins for me, because we're now going to talk a little bit more about one of the most powerful tools to get engaged in citizen science. Okay, this is iNaturalist. iNaturalist is a world platform. First of all, it's free to use. That's a huge advantage. And it's also based on a web page, and it can also work on any mobile device, Android, iOS. And okay, this tool started pretty much like a students project, and they were looking for a social network to connect or reconnect people with nature. They were not thinking about gathering hundreds, thousands of millions of observations and species, but nowadays it works pretty much like that. Uh, okay, iNaturalist, and let me tell you about this. It's this world community, and when we talk about the whole world, it really goes to the whole world. And here are some numbers, and we can see in the map that pretty much all the planet it's covered already with observations or records that people have made and shared here in this platform. And look at this number: 170 million observations. That's quite a lot. And this is like historical moments for all of us in here. And if we talk about how many species have been recorded on iNaturalist, okay, here's the other big number: 459,000 species already. Of course, some of them have been recorded a little bit more. We need to work on macroinvertebrates so we can keep things like more equal. But then it's not just about how many records or observation and species, but the community already working in iNaturalist, being part of this world community, more than 3 million observers, people who are sharing observations and records of biodiversity across the planet. Some people actually, I don't know what they do, but they spend a lot of time. Some of them have more than 250,000 observations already in here. And to be honest, this is like an historical time because no no one ever before has been able to put all these people together working at the same time to record biodiversity. And one special segment of this huge community is people who devote themselves to identify species to other. Maybe we don't know what we are seeing. Maybe we look at the fungi or a plant or a macroinvertebrate, a dragonfly, I don't know, diving beetles, and we don't know what they are. But people in here will help us a lot to get the species, or if possible, well, even less than that, to get us to know and get the proper identification. And it's not just about people. iNaturalist, we're going to see later on, it has image recognition systems that will help us a little bit more to get more knowledge about all that we are seeing. So right now, we're going to leave it here and see you at the next stage.
Great. Thank you, Carlos. This is really exciting. I'm really excited to bring iNaturalist to people. The MacroBlitz is about inspire and empower people to make observations and upload them to iNaturalist for science and for learning. So if you're new to iNaturalist and you've got questions, you have comments, maybe you're an experienced user and you have something you want to add to this, we invite you to go to our Google Classroom. If you're already not, if you are not yet a member, go to macroblitz.org and find out how you can join our Google Classroom and talk to us there, talk to the MacroBlitz community there. And we are so excited to have you as part of this project. And thank you and happy MacroBlitzing.